You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.
This is the brand new 2013 Acura RDX. And as you can see, it's changed quite a bit from the older model, the 2011. Not just the front end has changed, but basically the entire vehicle has gone out of its way. It has a facelift, a little bit new side skirts. Everything has been renewed on the side, and so has the back. But that's not all. They've even gone to the electronics beyond this car, because the four-wheel drive system is from the CR-V. And the CR-V's four-wheel drive system is actually one of the best out there. It's not the sportiest, but it is the best on the road. And this being a sporty SUV, as we can call it, or crossover, as it is now, this one doesn't really need to be the sportiest. It just needs to be comfortable, needs to have a better ride, and it does have that. But let me talk a little bit about Acura itself. This sign right here, in the 90s used to be a bit of a sporty-like culture. Every single kid out there would buy Acura Integras and Acura, basically any Acura that they could get their hands on, so they could go out, go street racing, and come back home. Let's just say you're going shopping. Your hands are a bit full, you can't get anything in the trunk, you have to open the trunk with that button inside. Well, here's the key. And here's the thing about it. If you have to lock it, you can just do that. But if you want to open it back again and your key is in the pocket, and let's just say you have stuff on you, you just go like this and the vehicle just opens up for you. It recognizes that there's a key over there. I think that was extremely easy to do and very practical. I think out of all the changes they've done, the most major is probably the facelift they've given this car, because, as you can see, this is probably from a TL, this is from an ILX, and it's still sort of like a car to look at. It's only a bit taller. But yeah, it is a bit chunkier, it's a bit more beautiful, and basically everything, as you can see here, is just as a TL would be. Even the fog lights, I mean, look at them. They're actually very pretty. They're actually covered up in this little thing right here, which is a bit of a glitter with some gray. Nowadays, Acura has a little bit of a bigger wing. And that's actually a good thing, because it gives this car a little bit of character, and character is nice. This has also been shaped down to give it a bit more character as well. And it lets the airflow pass by without any issues. Also, look at the rear lights, just the brake lights. They're just beautiful to look at, and they actually do look like they come from a TL. Not like all the other ones, just looks like they were put in from the TL right in here. That actually adds a lot of value to this car, because value means everything to Acura. It's the best bang for your money, and that's exactly what you want. Also, the rear bumper, if you look at it, looks very simple. Simple is a good thing here, because as you can see, there are no holes for the exhaust to come out. That's because the exhausts are actually pointed downward under the bumper. That way, no one is actually consumed by your fumes, and people that love Bambi don't have any issues. Also, since we're back here, let's just talk about the trunk. This is pretty much a huge trunk with the seats up. Down here you have, well, everything. Let's just say you have a flat, well, there's the stuff. But over here you have 23 cubic feet of space. Now let's just say that's not enough, but you don't have your kids around. Just pull on this lever and you can just fold everything flat. It's that simple. If there is one complaint there, it's probably that they're not completely flat. But I mean, just with the way it is to put them down, how easy it is, I think that should manage. I mean, it's actually a very beautiful piece of machinery. It's actually very simple to do. It's very practical, and there's quite a bit of space in there. That's actually quite cool. I believe that one of the biggest differences in this car is the tire and the wheel. Because compared to last year's, it is an inch bigger, it's 17 inches. But the tire actually has a little bit more give. It's not just the suspension acting up that makes this more comfortable, it's the way this tire takes the impact, takes basically everything. And not just that, last year you had the brakes, which were, well, as you can tell, they weren't too beautiful to look at. They were great to brake, but they weren't too beautiful. Now they've actually painted them black and they've put Acura on them. Now we're inside the RDX. And as you can see in here, it's sort of like having the TL mixed again with the ILX, because the steering wheel is from the ILX. You have all the buttons exactly the same as the ILX, but the dash over here, it's just like in the TL. This isn't much different from the ILX, that's the thing. And as you can see, over here we have the satellite navigation. Nowadays it's actually extremely easy to, to look at, to use it. And some people had a big complaint about this. There's a little chunk over here, but I understand it because as you can see, that creates a little bit of a shadow, a bit of a dark spot for that, because sometimes the sunlight gets where the screen is and you can't really see all that much. Also, this is actually extremely easy to use. I mean, all these buttons in the dash right here, they're actually even easier to use than they used to be. Also, over here you have space for everything. This actually moves, and over here you can connect your iPod to it. Windows, everything, there's power outlets. Also, look at this, the gear lever is just so comfortable to hold, you actually want to. The difference with the steering is that it is now an electronic steering wheel, so you don't get that much of a feel for the road. It is a bit numb. But that actually comes with a very good thing about it, because it is extremely light. And lightness just goes a long way. Sort of when you have to do very long trips, this car is very capable of doing. I mean, that's a very easy thing to do, and they've done it. It's actually really good. I don't mind the electronic steering in a vehicle like this. The ILX, yes, because that's a bit more sporty. This isn't supposed to be. This is just supposed to be a vehicle to take family from A to B on a road trip once in a while, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all I can say about this car actually, because I absolutely love this car. I understand it, and I love the fact they haven't thought about sportiness as much as they've thought about a family riding in it. Family needs to be comfortable, the kids need to be all right, and I think they're gonna be, because there's a 450 watt stereo. Well, thanks very much for watching. This was Sebastian Benzoni.
You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.